I didn't fall in love with my professor. I didn't sleep with him. Nothing illegal, nothing scandalous, but he still changed my life in a way people love to misunderstand. I met him during my second year of college, at a time when I was barely holding myself together. I was the quiet student who sat in the middle row, never raised her hand, never caused trouble. My grades were fine, but I wasn't. I was studying something my family had chosen, preparing for a future that looked impressive on paper and empty everywhere else. He taught one of those classes people underestimate. Not flashy, not popular, just a subject most students took because they had to. On the first day, he said something that stuck with me. I don't care if you're smart. I care if you're honest, with your work and with yourself. No professor had ever said that to me before. I submitted my first assignment and thought nothing of it. A week later, he asked me to stay back after class. My stomach dropped. I assumed I'd done something wrong. Instead, he slid my paper back to me and said, "You're hiding." I laughed awkwardly, asked what he meant. "You write like someone who knows what they think but is afraid to say it," he said. Why? That question followed me home. It followed me to bed. It followed me into every lecture where I copied notes without thinking. Over the semester, he pushed me, not loudly, not aggressively, but consistently. He challenged my arguments, called out my safe answers, returned my work with comments like "say what you mean and this feels borrowed." It was uncomfortable, exposing, sometimes humiliating, but it was also the first time an adult in authority didn't try to mold me into something acceptable. He tried to pull something real out of me. People started noticing changes. I spoke more. I questioned things. I switched electives. I stopped nodding automatically when my parents talked about my future. That's when the rumors started. Nothing explicit. Just whispers. Side eyes. A friend joking, "Wow, you're really his favorite." Someone else asking if I was getting special treatment. I hated that part the most. Because the truth was so much less dramatic, and so much more powerful. He never crossed a boundary. Never messaged me privately. Never treated me differently in front of others. What he did was far more dangerous to the life I'd been raised to accept. He made me think. Near the end of the year, I told him I was considering dropping my major. I expected disappointment, maybe even a lecture. He just nodded and said, "Good. If you're going to disappoint people, make sure it's for the right reasons." That sentence broke something open in me. I changed my major. I fought with my family. I lost friends who preferred the quieter version of me. I spent nights terrified I'd ruined everything. But I also felt awake for the first time. Years later, people still try to reduce the story. They want something salacious, something simple, a headline that makes sense of a woman changing course. But the truth doesn't fit that narrative. My professor didn't save me. He didn't love me. He didn't cross a line. He did something far more lasting. He saw who I could be before I did, and refused to let me keep pretending I was smaller than that. And sometimes, that's the kind of influence people fear the most.